2025 has been a very prolific, very fruitful year in terms of Turkish-Cameroon relations. The year has started with hope and expectation, and it materialized throughout the months of the year, and we have managed to undertake a number of groundbreaking, I have to say, events throughout the year. But what comes to mind immediately is the visit of the Minister of Defense, Mr. Yaşar Güler, as the co-chair of the Joint Economic Commission between Turkey and Cameroon. This meeting has been postponed for a number of years, and quite admittedly, the expectation in the minds of our Cameroonian friends was that it was never going to be held. But the Turkish Minister of Defense, Yaşar Güler, came to Yaoundé in the early days of May, and we managed to undertake the Joint Economic Commission meeting. This, incidentally, happens to be the very first minister-level meeting, or a minister-level visit, rather, from Turkey to Cameroon, ever since this embassy, the Turkish embassy in Yaoundé, was inaugurated. So I'm very happy to be the ambassador here for the very first ministerial level visit. This was more than a Joint Economic Commission meeting. It was indeed the beginning of a new era in the Turkish-Cameroonian relations. There have been a number of economic openings, defense and military relations have flourished. As the ambassador here, I have tried hard to bring about a number of cultural events that would introduce the Turkish culture here in Cameroon. We tried to focus not only on the similarities between the two cultures, but we also tried to show the side of Turkish culture which is not very well known here in Cameroon. So all in all, I can say that this year, almost the past year, 2025, has been a new beginning, so to say, in our relations. The diplomatic events that come to mind, apart from the visit of the Turkish Minister of Defense, is the ever-increasing political and economic ties between the two countries. The political consultations of the year 2024 set the basis for us to proceed. And with the minister's visit, I think many doors have opened between Turkey and Cameroon, so that the Turkish and Cameroonian entrepreneurs, politicians, businessmen, and the people, the laymen on the streets, people on the street, began to learn more and more about one another and understand each other's culture. So I think what we had achieved until today, this year, is a very good promise for a very fruitful and busy, I have to say, 2026 to come. Our economic relations are ever flourishing. Our trade volume has increased constantly throughout the past years. Last year we had reached a record high. We are now safe to suggest that we are aiming at $500 million of trade volume between our two countries in a short span of time, hopefully. The Turkish investments in Cameroon have already reached $1 billion. There are a number of Turkish entrepreneurs doing business here who are based here, mostly in Yaoundé and Douala, but throughout the country. More and more Turkish interests are coming our way here in Cameroon. The Cameroonian business community is also beginning to learn more and more about Turkey. We hosted a B2B meeting, business to business meeting, in the first days of July in Douala, where around 40 Turkish sector representatives showed up in Douala. It reached a record high of over 1,000 Cameroonian entrepreneurs. I was very happy to be there to see that it took place in a hotel, and the hotel corridors, the stairs, even the elevators turned out to be places of discussion between the Turkish and Cameroonian business people. We are planning to host a similar B2B meeting in February of next year. We are already preparing for that. These business-to-business meetings paved the way for the two business communities of our countries to get to know one another. More and more Cameroonian business people are interested in Turkey and the Turkish products. It gives me an immense pleasure to see that lots of Cameroonian entrepreneurs whom we had never known before are calling us, knocking on our door, asking for opportunities, and asking us to find a way so that they could meet their interlocutors, their counterparts in Turkey. This is a very positive development. I had mentioned initially about the defense and military ties being more and more deepened. This year, or last year rather, I have to say, because we're almost at the end of the year 2025, we have inaugurated 2 Turkish language training courses within the premises of the Ministry of Defense of Cameroon. The idea is to teach basic Turkish language to the Cameroonian officers who will then go to Turkey to get certain training from the Turkish military authorities. Until today, the Cameroonian officers would only be able to attend the military courses in Ankara, or Turkey rather, that were taught in English because they didn't know the Turkish language. This way, I think we will widen the horizon of our Cameroonian friends so that they would be able to receive more and more courses, the ones that are also taught in the Turkish language. Of course, again, going back to the visit of the Turkish National Defense Minister, it was, of course, in the context of Joint Economic Commission meeting, but him being the Minister of National Defense, he also had the opportunity to get together with his Cameroonian counterpart, the Minister of Defense, His Excellency Mr. Joseph Betty Asamo. I think this was the beginning of a deeper military and defense tie between our two countries. We are already working on concrete military cooperation projects for the year to come. I think we have already divided the next year into 3, and we have already started thinking about what we can do in the first 4 months, the second 4 months, and the latter 4 months of the next year. I think we will have, again, groundbreaking defense and military cooperation to come in 2026. Economics, politics, and defense seem to be more important, so to say, in terms of bilateral relations. But one must never forget the importance of education, cultural ties, and people-to-people contacts. I think we have done a number of concrete projects throughout this year, 2025, in terms of establishing deeper relations between the peoples of the two countries. Here, I need to acknowledge and thank 2 bodies. First is TİKA, which is the Turkish Development Agency. Indeed, with the TİKA representation present here in Yaoundé, we have managed to undertake and conclude a number of concrete projects, not only in Yaoundé or Douala, but throughout the country. So it has been it has been very useful occasions for us to visit different parts of Cameroon, where we inaugurated a number of concrete projects pertaining towards mostly the girls and women and vulnerable groups of Cameroon. Our motto in coming up with TICA projects in Cameroon is twofold. First is we look for what is needed. And second, we look for what we can really do, what we can really undertake. So we deliver what we promise. And then we never overpromise, but we make sure when we promise something to the good people of Cameroon, we deliver it. The second body that I need to really extend my thanks and appreciation apart from TICA is the Maarif Foundation. We have 7 schools here in Cameroon. They are functioning very well. There is good attention in the eyes of the Cameroonian people towards the Maarif school education here. We are trying to strengthen our outreach via our schools here. We are trying to make our schools more and more visible, not only for the elites, so to say, of Cameroon, but every Cameroonian citizen. We will strengthen our ties with the other schools in Cameroon, as well as the Cameroonian authorities in charge. A good number of Turkish citizens living here in Cameroon. We are proud of them. We are proud of their presence here, as well as the work that they undertake for years now. I think the presence of Turkish entrepreneurs in Cameroon is a very strong bridge between the two countries. Everyone already realizes the importance of Turkish community present and living here for some time now. I need to thank the Cameroonian authorities for being an example of perfect hosts for the Turkish citizens here in Cameroon. I don't hear a lot of complaints from the Turkish community here, but when I receive a number of complaints, which can happen anywhere in the world, I am very happy to see that the Cameroonian authorities are always available and present and ready to solve it in a very amicable way. I need to thank them again once more. I must not forget the importance of sports, and particularly football. I have been here for almost a year now, and I am already realizing that football is a shared passion between the peoples of Turkey and Cameroon. This is why we are dedicating some of our energy to increasing what I call football diplomacy here in Cameroon, because I see that whenever we devise and undertake and finish a project pertaining to football per se, it gains traction here in Cameroon. It is very well received. We are engaging with a number of football academies. We are supporting a number of football clubs here. And I think a personal dream for me is to realize a football match in the famous Japoma Stadium in Douala, which was, as you all know, constructed by a Turkish company at the time. One of the biggest landmarks of Cameroon. Of course, not everything is very easy and smooth. There are certain difficulties, just like we can face anywhere in the world. But again, as I just said about the Turkish citizens here, whenever we reach a certain hurdle or an issue that needs to be overcome, I have the friendship and support of the Cameroonian authorities. So nothing ever ossifies, I have to say. Everything, if there's a problem, everybody is there with us. We work together, we come up with possible solutions, and then finally we manage to overcome them. Again, I am very grateful to the Cameroonian authorities. I think as a message for next year, I can promise three things. First is hard work from this embassy and the Turkish institutions present here. We will continue to work really hard, maybe harder than we did last year, so that the Turkish footprint here in Cameroon is more and more visible. The second promise I can make is deeper social and people-to-people engagement. I think every day is a good day to introduce the Turkish culture to the Cameroonians. There are many Cameroonians who only know about Istanbul airport and the Bosphorus and nothing else. I think it is our job to teach about various aspects of the Turkish culture here in Cameroon. And the third promise is ever stronger engagement with the Cameroonian officials so that the Turkish political, economic, cultural, and people presence here is ever strengthened. So we will strive to do more. I don't know if we will manage, if we won't, but one thing we can promise, all in all, as the Turkish community at large here, is to make sure that every day we work to introduce Turkey, explain the Turkish position, Turkish culture, and make sure that our Cameroonian friends are well advised and well informed about who we are and what we do. Thank you very much.